Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Have you ever wondered why some debuffs don't land, but then others do? Well, in this three-part series, I'll be covering buffs and debuffs, and today, let's begin with the basics. Let's first begin with what is a buff or debuff. So a buff in Raid Shadow Legends is either something that's going to give you more damage, more survivability, or just general utility. Whereas a debuff kind of does the same thing, but instead makes your enemies weaker. Let's go for an example here. So this is my free-to-play Dragon team at the moment, and if you haven't already seen that series, please go give that a view, as it's been getting really exciting and I've been making a lot of progress. So back to my example, you see one of these champions here has just given me an increased speed, and the other has also given me an increased attack. Then you see here in the next frame, one of my champions is then placing a decreased defense on the other team. This all then allows my damage dealers to come in, deal as much damage as they need to, kill all the enemies, and then move on to the next wave. Let's start with the debuffers. We'll use our girl War Maiden here. Whoops. Anyway, so War Maiden here has an ability which lowers the defense of the enemy team here by 60%. She has a 75% chance to do that, but if you get books into her, she ends up being 100% decreased defense. Now you might be wondering why she has 100%, but sometimes you can miss. Well, there's another thing for champions here who don't have a special ability, which I'll talk about in a second. You need to have enough accuracy. So this is the number down here, accuracy. So you can see here, I've got 250 accuracy on my War Maiden, on my free-to-play, and she's able to then land her decreased defense on champions, and also in dungeons as well, every single time that I need her to. Another thing to consider is the enemy's resistance. So if you don't have enough accuracy for their resistance, you won't be able to hit your ability. So therefore, this actually happens to me right here where I try and land the poisons from Kale onto the ultimate Death Knight and he resists those debuffs. So ultimately, no pun intended, you want to have more accuracy than the enemy has resistance. That way you're landing your debuffs 100% of the time instead of only, say, 50% of the time. Now there are some champions here like Walking Tomb Drang who have a HP burn, for example, who has this saying, this debuff cannot be resisted. So in instances like this, you don't have to worry about the enemy resistance. You don't even have to worry about accuracy on the champion. All you need to do is either build them for survivability or for damage. So when you're building your debuffer out, you want to make sure you prioritize sets such as Perception, which gives you an extra 40 accuracy there and some extra speed. Then you've got Accuracy, which also gives you an extra 40 accuracy. And then also you've got Speed, which gives you an extra 12% speed. So speed itself is quite a very, very important stat that you want to be prioritizing. So it's both speed and accuracy, but most importantly, the accuracy. Now with my buffer, so I've got Haikatoon here who places an increased speed on all of my champions. She doesn't need any accuracy to do this on my allies. However, she also has debuffs included in her kit, including reduced turn meter and also the decreased speed. So I'm going to build her with some speed and some accuracy. So you see here, I don't have as much accuracy as I did on my War Maiden. It's because it's not as imperative that she lands her debuffs. It is more imperative though that my War Maiden does land hers. So then for someone who's giving you all of these buffs and also survivability, you want to be making sure they're as quick as they can be and have enough survivability that they can get their moves off as quickly as they can. My free-to-play at the moment, I've got Demacia here, who's my reviver. So she's got a skill here that revives all dead allies with HP and turn meter. So for her, I want her to be able to get her revivability up as soon as possible and also make sure that she stays alive. So for me, I'm prioritizing sets such as speed and also resilience, which is giving me HP and defense. So you see here, I built her out with some speed there. She's at like 160 or so. She doesn't need any accuracy whatsoever, but you can see I built her there with 33,000 or 34,000 HP. Her speed is a little bit low. I probably wanted to get that up to like 170, 180, and I haven't built her with any damage. So the main stats to prioritize there is HP, speed, and defense. So speed probably the most important thing there, and then HP and defense kind of follow thereafter. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this first part of the series. If you are interested in more, the next two videos to follow from this will be one explaining all of the buffs in the game and what they do, including ones such as Hydra and Minotaur as well. And then the second video will be about debuffs, so other debuffs around the game and what they do. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.